You've tuned in for another Drive Time live stream. Oh Lord, life is good. Life is interesting. We are just days away, so far as we know, from having our new baby enter the world. And when I say so far as I know, because for all we know, that kid could come today or tomorrow. So we'll see when he decides to come. But hope y'all are well. Ash Wednesday was wonderful. I got tied up at home, so we couldn't go out and get our ashes from St. Augustine's, from Father Paul. My wife is so pregnant. Oh my Lord, every sound out of her mouth is basically a groan. It's been fun. I've been homeschooling our daughter for the most part, and homeschooling is just so cool. It's so creative and it's so gratifying. We're in first grade with my eldest. Basically, at the moment, the rhythm of life is we put our 2-year-old down for a nap, and she sleeps for about 2 hours, and during that time, Isla and I get to work. Usually Mama does it, but I do it right now. Which is all to say, homeschool gets done in about 2 hours. I mean, that's phenomenal. And it's hands-on, like I get to either hover over Isla and look over her shoulder if that's kind of what she wants or needs on a certain day, because sometimes she needs a little help with focus. But other times, I can just say, hey, you can read now. Let's see how much of these instructions you can follow yourself. And she loves that self-directed time for more than a few reasons. One, she likes being in charge, but two, it's very satisfying and exciting for her to be able to read the directions for herself. I mean, that's a win. That is a win. And the other day I got her a dictionary as a surprise gift, because she likes to crack open big books, especially the Action Bible. She's got a copy of Action Bible, and she knows the stories from the pictures, and because she knows the stories from the picture, she can kind of piece together what's going on when she reads it, but she doesn't know every word. So I got her a dictionary so she could kind of figure it out for herself. I remember when I was in kindergarten or first grade, we had a dictionary in my home growing up, and so whenever I was feeling precocious, I would pick up a big grown-up book with a dictionary next to it and see how much of that grown-up book I could read. I remember I tried to read Sphere by Michael Crichton in kindergarten, which was a bad decision. Too precocious. I wasn't ready for it. There was some weird stuff I learned about in that book. On the other hand, it gave me a head start on sci-fi. But what a day it's been. I mean, it's funny. I've been spending some time on X just because I'm experimenting with different social media platforms after leaving behind the Meta ecosystem. Ecosystem's the wrong word for Meta. That makes it sound like it's alive. It's not. It's a network. It's a hive mind, but I use the term mind very loosely because I just don't know how many people are actually using theirs. But to be fair, a lot of people I know seem to be under the impression that X is sort of like a partisan area, which is interesting. They tend to think of it as like a right-wing place, but I don't know. My feed seems to be a very hearty combination of influences. And at any rate, it's Ash Wednesday. It was Ash Wednesday, so everyone was out and about. I remember Jack Pasibiak was trolling people saying, fasting isn't in the Bible, because he wanted everyone to look it up to disprove him. And naturally, people fell into the trap because fasting is in the Bible. I guess that's kind of like a Catholic versus Protestant thing. See, I wasn't brought up with enough religion to really have internalized much of that. What I internalized was agnostic, post-enlightenment, postmodernist kind of secularism. That's what I internalized. That was fun internalizing that. But that's all to say, I guess Protestants, like, generally speaking, at least Protestants on X, there's kind of a pile-on Ash Wednesday, because I guess it's controversial that Christians fast. I mean, see, I learned about Christianity from books, because I became Christian in a secular culture through studying the Bible. So when I first decided I was going to give Christianity a shot, I was reading history books about Christianity. I was like, okay, I'll just learn about what Christianity is from the books about Christianity. I'd like to learn about early Christianity, so I'll find the books written by the early Christians. So I read St. Ignatius of Antioch. I read Shepherd of Hermas. I read St. Clement of Rome. Somehow I ended up reading the Clementine Recognitions, which is a very interesting thing to have stumbled into. What else? Well, I read a lot of things, and they were very fun to read. But, where was I? Oh yeah, they all talk about fasting. Right, so I read the Philokalia, because I had a friend who was Greek Orthodox, and he turned me on to Byzantine asceticism writings. And so I learned about the Philokalia. I mean, man, Christians been fasting a long time, so apparently, I find this hard to believe, apparently, like, Protestants don't think highly of fasting, or they think it's like a legalistic thing, some leftover thing from the Old Testament. Very interesting, but people argue about it, and so there's some other really interesting things around that. But hold on, I gotta take a call. Excuse me, guys.